Man, getting things set up. So anyway, I guess I should actually go over what I want the stream to be, right? There's a lot of different games I want to try out and showcase because I think they're really cool and don't really seem to get a lot of coverage. And hey, I might as well cover things no one else is covering, right? No point doing what everyone else is doing. You have other people for that. But I also want to just stream my life, kind of. And not like, you know, like blah, 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 day in, day out. But there's little personal projects I want to work on. I want to work in game design. I want to work on art. I want to work on world building for RPGs. I want to, like, do all this stuff. And I figure, why not stream that? Why not? So right now, you get to watch me muddle my way through setting up Twitch. That's live streaming, right? Yeah. So, you know, hidden gems, oddities, and live streaming. That's the anthem, I guess. And I don't know, I've been trying to stream stuff out. You'll notice there's only one video in the archive right now, and that one's the first one I tried. Somehow that was the best one. Still not very good. The other ones I've deleted. They're just like, whatever. So let's pull up a game to work this way through. That should be good. So the first thing I did was I played Spooky Castle, which, cool little nostalgia sparked for me. Anyone else who ever played it? Other than that, pretty much useless for anybody. And then I started thinking, man, what other things did Hamumu do? I don't remember. And I, you know, went to his site, which is interesting because I never went to his site as a kid, right? Like, I just had his game on a disc and it was like, this is a game, it exists. And, I then later, when I was in like college, I thought, you know, I'm gonna check out this guy's stuff. Maybe it's good. I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be great. And, I always forget that the Robot Wants series is done by Hamumu. Just because it's so different than his usual stuff, right? The art's completely different. Might be a Flixo game for all I know. Oh man, I should play one of my favorite little Flash games of all time. It's a little Flixo game. That's what it's called, right? Flixo? I think that's right. Yeah. I can't remember the name of it now. I'll look it up later. It should be a good time. But, well, whoop-a-doop-doop. You can't do anything in this game until you get power-ups. You gotta program yourself. You better wreck yourself. X is not a jump button, because that one is saved for your weapon. Right. Okay. It's all good. The weapon, which of course I do not have yet. It's over there. So yeah, this series, it's I know best from being on Jay's games. Well, I mean, technically I found it on Hamumu's site first. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I actually found it on Jay's games first. I don't recall. I could not tell you. Man, I mean these stupid blasts. Surprisingly difficult. Might be best to try and make that jump instead of trying to shoot this dude. Oh, no. I didn't miss. Okay. But you know, it's just a little cute little jumping around, shooting things kind of game. Collecting power-ups, little Metroidvania kind of thing. Where you can see what you're, you know, and it's got like super simple premise, right? It's just, oh crap, I'm gonna, butts. And it's a nice framing mechanism actually, where you can obviously see what your goal is when the game starts, right? You can't get there, but you can see it, and that's a really nice mechanic psychologically. Just being able to actually show a thing. And it's something I do want to talk about a lot in games, but maybe I shouldn't. Go blow my load right away. Probably doesn't matter. But I really love exploration in games. I think exploration is a fantastic mechanic that is a mechanic. Even if all you're doing is walking around and jumping and whatever. That's gameplay. That's you using the controls to engage with the game, right? Crap. Alright. And I love that. I think that's really solid. Have I never killed that guy yet? Still really? And I think about this a lot when I think about relationship games that look at relationships. And I really say relationship game, not romance game, because I think that there's a big, not so much a big difference, but there's a big distinction, I guess, is what I mean. It's an important one as far as I'm concerned. No, we don't. That's going to be helpful. I don't think that I can put it on this way. And the thing is just that a plot romance can be kind of dull, but a plot relationship isn't, because relationships are so much more, I don't know. The point is that, I mean, I guess romance in itself is a lot more nuanced. The important thing to do is to remember to treat romance as a relationship, and not as this sort of one-note thing. I guess that's the point? I don't know, man. I don't know what the point is. What do you take me for? Someone who knows things and has coherent thought? That's ridiculous. Where was I going with that? Oh, I was talking about exploration, right. And, it's sort of this idea of feeling out the edges of your world. Going, how far can I go? Okay, I've done everything I possibly can. And I feel like people would do this all the time in classic RPG games, right? I don't know, that's what I would do. I'm the guy who would go, well, which direction in the dungeon do they want me to go? I'll go the other way. And I think most people would do this, right? Where you go the way you think you're not supposed to first, because you want to see all the content, right? That's the point. You want to explore the world. And a good game will have sort of a reward for that. I guess reward's not really the right word, but... Oh, crap. Oh, nice. Machine's right here. I'm not sure if I can make that jump or not. I'm going to try again before I just give up on it. But I don't... No. Okay, yeah, I can. Brilliant! I need to start drinking water while I play, I think, because I am not cut out for this. Without water. But the point is, yeah, and sometimes I feel like that's actually not a great way to play games. I know in Final Fantasy VIII, one of my favorite games of all time, possibly just for nostalgia value, and also because I've realized it is straight up a chick flick. It took me a long time to make this realization, but that's probably why it didn't get as well received, is because it's straight up chick flick. Really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a chick flick. That was a cool realization I had one time. Anyway, not important. The point is, you explore the way I would play that game is I would go, okay, what is everything I can do? I've done everything I can do? Okay. Now I will go, and I'll do the thing I'm supposed to do, right? So you do everything you possibly can, then you open up the rest of the next part of the world. Then you do everything you can, and then you open up the next part of the world, right? And you just follow that pattern. And sometimes that can be a little weird because you end up in this weird, grind state almost. But, I don't know, I like that kind of exploration gameplay, right? Find the edges of the world, and then... and then activate the next part. And so using the example of Final Fantasy VIII, you're walking around on foot and you're like, I'm going to explore this island. Great. Okay, let's push the story forward. Whoa, now I'm on a different continent. Let's walk around and explore that continent. Then you push the gameplay forward. And then you're like, oh man, now I've got access to the garden that can fly around across the entire world. Oh, this is awesome. And then you push the game forward a bit. And then you're like, whoa, I have a spaceship now. I can do anything I want. I can not only see the entire world, I can go to places that didn't have, you know, boat access. I can go on top of mountains. So good. See? Okay. Awesome. I think I'm near the end of the game now, right? Oh, no, there's all the red blocks still I gotta do. Now I gotta figure out where the... Oh, it's just down here. Okay. Never mind. Way to go, Darcy. Way to go. Awesome. Right, so it's that kind of thing. And I actually equated a lot to adventure games. I feel like what makes an adventure game work isn't puzzles, it's good exploration, right? It's the adventure part of the game. By which I mean, you know, going around seeing, okay, what are the edges of the world, and then once you have established the edges of the world, you know, talked to everyone in that world, seen all that content, then you open the gate to the next part of the world, right? And then maybe you have to re-explore that part of the first part of the world again, right? Because things have changed, and what your actions affected the world state, if that makes sense, right? And I find that really compelling gameplay. The point that I was bringing up, I think, maybe not, who knows, who even knows, was the idea that, that is a really nice way to play games that focus on relationships, is that your relationship with people is another thing you're exploring, right? You're getting to know them. You're seeing how much they'll tell you about their life, and eventually they'll be like, "No, I'm not going to tell you anymore," and you got to do something to get to them. You know, open the gate passage. Which might be a bad way of thinking of it. That might be a bad metaphor, but it's something at least close to that. And it's the end of the game. No, it's just me dying. Alright. Killing a bunch of people. Oh, fun. Okay, that worked fine. I'm not gonna bother killing these guys. It sounds like work. Too much work. So I'm not sure what changed, but the stream seems to be working fine. So that's good. It's good. That, a big part of this was just me testing to make sure the stream's working. Can you go up there? I do not know. Oh great, crazy boss thing. Man, I can't remember what the rest of these games were like. So this is Robot Wants Kitty, then there's Robot Wants Doggy, Robot Wants Fishy, and then Robot Wants Ice Cream. Which is kind of the least interesting if I remember correctly. Oh, but it's kind of the least interesting one if I remember correctly. The Robot Wants Ice Cream. Because I mean, like, what? He wants ice cream? What sort of goal is that? You went from like an animal companion to just some ice cream? Come on, man. But, you know, whatever. That's cool. That's fine. I'm with it. Did I go over here yet? I guess I didn't. Certainly doesn't look like I did. Yeah! Girl, time to die! Get wrecked. Yep, get wrecked. That's the name of the game. Shut up. Okay. And I'm not sure if that was a tangent or not. I mean, I've gone on a tangent now, but I mean, that big discussion about exploration and relationships and stuff, was that a tangent? It had nothing to do with the game, but I don't know if that makes it a tangent. You know what I mean? Maybe. This is a distinction. That doesn't matter. I need a save machine. I think the Robot Wants Fishy's the most interesting one, if I remember correctly. That sounds right. lasers. They're super deadly. And Flash games. What could this possibly do? Well done, game. Way to be snarky. Gotta love those boxing gloves. It's weird how much the red key, being the first one you get, looks like a boxing glove. Like, if it wasn't the first one you got, I don't think it'd be a weird. But it's the first one you get, so looks like a boxing glove. Can I get in there? Probably can't. Oh, did we get a better weapon at some point? Bro. Actually, this is probably pretty good. Might as well play this game out. It's not like I won't be missing it again. I mean, maybe I won't, but I think I have to, right? Because that blue door was a lot less blue than I was expecting, to be honest. Can I hold the button? I can hold the button down. I didn't realize that. Well then, I guess I'll just hold the button down from now on. Hold down and press C. Okay, nice. I can deal with that. I can deal with those controls. Those aren't too bad. Woo! That's fun. Is there nothing actually in this room? Oh, I see. Let's jump. There it is. Yes, let's remember what jump is. That seems like a good idea. Crap. Well, that went. Wait a minute. Wasn't there a red door over here? Oh no, there's a red block. That's different than a red door. Okay. Okay. Never mind. Aw, yeah. Blasting all over the place. Probably should not hit that machine. Not a good idea. Oh man. All the things. Well, that was just dumb. That I can't justify that. Just a bad idea. I've done everything that's up here, haven't I? Yeah, I'm out of here. So that only can go so far. I didn't actually know that. That could be deadly. I didn't realize it. Used it in the wrong spot. And not that the jumps are going to be set up correctly, so that it's not a big deal. But you never know. Maybe Hamumu's a dick. Oh, not though. Seems like a right guy. What am I even talking about? I don't know if I can die. I think you just have to avoid it, to be honest. Actually, it's getting faster, which means it is taking damage, at least in some form, right? But it is responding to my action. Doesn't mean it can die, but it is responding. Does that make sense? Yeah. I might have just made it worse for myself. I'm not sure. That might have just been bad. Just bad. That's it. Who even knows? But the important thing with exploration is to find things, right? I like games like, okay, I guess I really should use the comparison of games I barely played because I got bored with them. But what's that game called? Edgelon or something? And it's like, yeah, just walk around this beautiful landscape. And, you know, even if there are cool things to find in that game, I don't know, I didn't really give it a good enough shot. Didn't really give it much of a chance. But even if there's cool stuff in that game somewhere, it still remains the case that I'm gonna go head that direction and hope maybe there'll be something in it, right? So you create these like compelling landscapes, right? And they're depending on just the shape of the landscape, most players will go, I bet there's something out there, and they'll want to go find it. And then, so that's the first thing, right? The first thing is create a landscape that compels you to discover what's going on in it. And then the second thing is to, you know, yeah, dead. And then the second thing is to make it worth your while. Again, going back to Final Fantasy VIII, I remember, awesome, in both me and my brother, independently of each other, just ended up deciding, we looked at an island and went, that island comes to a point, let's go check it out, right? Both when I played it and he played it, we both ended up doing this, we just did, like, it's not like, we just did, like, I don't know, we didn't realize we both did it until afterwards, and it's one of those things that's just like, it's funny because we easily could have just, how do I put this? We didn't even need to walk to the end of the island. We could have simply flew the spaceship there and went, nope, nothing here, and then left. But both of us went, oh, there's totally something at the end, there's probably something at the end of the island. Let's just go and check it out. And then we did. And there was nothing there. But we both after the fact went, wait, why did we walk down here? We walked because the landscape compelled us to. It seemed interesting, you know? And that can be enough. I don't know. I find it interesting. I don't know. Maybe this is just a pointless exercise. Like, simplicity. As dumb as that sounds, it does sound like it could actually be a word. I mean, I know it's not a word. There's a lot of words that don't exist, effective words. One of my favorites that a long time usage has been the word facsimilate. Facsimilate. I wanted a word for to create a facsimile, so I just said, yeah, it's probably facsimile. That sounds appropriate. It sounds like a real word if you didn't know better, and the important thing isn't that it sounds right, it's that it's immediately recognizable. If you know what the word facsimile means, you're probably going to hear the word facsimile and go, oh, I know what you mean by that. It's like verbicide, right? I think they use verbicide. Do they use the term verbicide in 1984? I mean, they certainly talk about verbicide, but I don't know if they use that language. Probably not, because they're all about not using words, right? That's verbicide. Anyway, I digress. Do you really digress? Probably not. What am I even doing? Going the wrong way about things. Whoa, like that. Dang, I did it again. Anyway, the point is, by putting together these words, we already know what it means. We can go, oh yeah, I can figure that. And as long as the listener can figure out what you mean, then the word works, you know? That's the important thing, honestly. In most situations, that is. In most situations. Right? As long as the listener understands that how to do it. And that's why some real words don't work, because they're just outside of people's vocabulary, and they don't have any context, right? Some of them have some slight etymological sense to them. I mean, pretty much every word. I need to stop doing that. pretty much every word does have etymology, so it should make etymological sense. But there are a ton of words that just don't have much purpose because they're outside of the vocabulary to the point where you don't have any context to figure out what they should mean. Or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Know what I say? Know what I mean? And just let me block. Press X while ducking to fire missiles. Boop. Ow. Excellent. Excellent. I don't think I even need to go up there though, do I? That's just there to work as an escape route. After you gain the ability. Alright, kitty. I'm coming for that kitty. Wow, they're surprisingly boring. Da 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 da! Yeah! I did it! Okay. Good stream, guys. I'll probably do the next ones like immediately, but I'm gonna at least close the stream here so that I can have the concise parts. Cool. Cool. Broadcast.